What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Dayton Triangles here on EA College Football. Or not EA College Football, but Madden 25. We were just coming off of EA College Football, so, forgive me for that. Our boys are off to a great start here, man. We are 9-3 on this season. We're coming off our bye week, so we're feeling nice and rested. And so we are now ready to go ahead and jump into the final few games that we have left in this season. Now, we are sitting at top of our division right now. We are 9-3, but we're taking on the Pittsburgh Maulers, as well as another divisional team in this episode. Focusing in on Pittsburgh should be an interesting matchup, as just like us, Pittsburgh does come in with a top 10 offense. You know, we have a very similar level of explosion when it comes to our offense. Big difference between us, though, is that we have actually stopped teams this year. We are the best defense in the UFL, while Pittsburgh is in the bottom half, averaging over 20 points allowed per game. We're sitting at 15.9 points a game. So we've been doing some really good work here, and hoping that we can continue that here in this episode. So what we're planning on doing here, we're going to play this full game against Pittsburgh. Huge rivalry game here, one of our bitter rivals in this league. Then we'll also jump into the highlights of the Columbus Destroyers game after this as well. So should be a good episode, one that I'm very happy to jump into, very excited for, and I hope you guys are as well. If you are, make sure you go ahead and do a couple of things for me. Hit that like button, and then hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. And with that being said, boys, let's go ahead. Let's dive into this thing, man. I'm excited for it. Alright, boys, so let's go ahead and jump right into it, as we have Pittsburgh getting the ball to start this game out. And Will Firth's going to throw to the right-hand side, find his superstar tight end. And his superstar tight end, Barkley, is going to get a great gain for him. Probably about like a 15 to 20-yard gain to start things out. And throwing to our most lethal side, too. They're trying to set a zone. We'll see if that zone continues for the rest of the game, as they once again target Barkley, who makes the tough catch against our linebacker, Paul Mitchells. And now it's 3rd and short. We'll see if they keep it up with the pass game, and they will keep it through the air, and it's going to turn into the Barkley show. First drive of the game, and Barkley is going to have his 3rd catch already. This game has hardly started, but he's absolutely been killing us today so far, but so has this defensive line. Cameron Spencer was initially in there to bring that pass rush, but it was Nas Evans, the rookie 2nd rounder, able to finish the job. And now it's 3rd and 16. Trying to drop back the pass. Wants the first down, but Peter Townsend was in the area, and he's going to shut it down quickly. And Pittsburgh's going to have to punt this football away. So a promising first drive for the Pittsburgh Maulers. It doesn't lead to anything, so your Dayton Triangles will take over. And our first play of the game is going to go to our tight end. We're not the only team going up against that has an explosive tight end. We got a pretty darn good one in Grayson Heidick. And Grayson Heidick picks up the first down. Is now 1st and 10 from 49-yard line. We'll keep it on the ground for right now, as Jonathan McGriff is going to pick up a decent chunk of yards there. He'll pick up 5 and nearly pick up that first down. But if we want to keep the drive alive, we have to get these few yards here, as we'll throw for the sticks here. 3rd and short, and we won the throw for it. It's no good. Portis was able to get in and apply the pressure. And a big early decision here on 4th and short. And you know what? We're feeling a little frisky. We're going for it. 4th and 3. Coward throws over the middle, but the pressure gets home again, forcing the incompletion. And we will be turned away on our first drive of the game. And more importantly, Pittsburgh is going to be provided with some amazing field position, starting in the 41-yard line, and a huge opportunity to get the first points of this ball game. especially if they can come out here and get one more first down, as we'll try to send the blitz a few plays later. Man, we send the pressure, and it forced a bad pass. Wouldn't have been a first down even if that was catchable. And so Pittsburgh had that golden opportunity to put points on the board, but can't do it. So now we'll take back over, and looks like it's just about a touchback. Going to be starting at the 19-yard line, as we'll send DeAndre Bazier into motion. Gonna throw to the right-hand side, and DeAndre Bazier is gonna run like a wild stallion in order to pick up that first down. Nice job getting some yards after the catch. And that'll give our offense a little bit of breathing room, as picking up that first down helps out in the overall field position game. As we're approaching one of the last plays of the first quarter, running it one more time for Jonathan McGriff. And McGriff will get us close to the first down marker, getting to around the midfield logo in the process, as that is going to bring an end to the first quarter of action. And it's been a very defensive-minded first quarter. Neither team able to put points up on the board. But we're going to change that here when we get into this next quarter of action, though. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into the second quarter of action, as we have 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line, as we're dropping back to pass caller. Looking over to the left-hand side. He's got a receiver down the sideline. Oh, he wanted DeAndre Bazier. But a great recovery there on the outside. Gonna force the incompletion there, as that will now mean that we will face 3rd and medium instead. Still have the ball at the 49-yard line as Andrew Collar surveys the defense and what could be a critical 3rd down. Collar throws the right-hand side, and it's going to be incomplete. Want to get it out to Grayson Heineck, but it's going to be deflected away. Tight coverage across the board, and the Dayton Triangles will have to punt it away once again. So with that being said, Pittsburgh will take over at the 12-yard line, and both teams have had flashes of brilliance offensively, but no one has been able to put together a complete drive yet. Maybe Pittsburgh has found something, as they ran the ball on 2 consecutive plays and able to find extremely good success on both of those plays, as it will eventually lead to a Pittsburgh first down. Now staring at the 31-yard line, but they go back to the passing game, where they throw over the middle and they find Barkley, who's been such a popular target today. That is now his 4th catch of the game. Barkley certainly getting a ton of attention offensively, and maybe starting to open things up here in the running game, as things are really starting to open up for Watson. Watson's able to get a really nice run, as Pittsburgh will once again find itself in Dayton territory, possibly just needing one more first down, and they're going to go with a read option. Will Firth is going to carry it close to the first down marker. Doesn't get all the way there, but 3rd and short is a pretty good place to be in. Opens up the entire playbook, as now 3rd and 2, they're going to throw over the right-hand side. That is a dot over the right-hand side. You saw that there was quite a bit of coverage. There was a lot of bodies from both teams in that area, but yet it looks like a Pittsburgh man comes down with it, and the Maulers are seriously threatening, but not for long, as J.J. Peters is going to drive them back for a 13-yard loss. That is the 2nd-year player out of the University of Southern Florida, able to mess shit up there. And now it's 2nd and long, trying to get some of that back as they throw again to Barkley. But Barkley can't do anything with it. It's going to now be 3rd and long after the drop. Firth drops back, facing some pressure, and it's Greg Sharp, the 3rd-year defensive end, able to put this drive effectively to an end. And while their kicker makes an extremely impressive field goal, it's just only going to be that. They are still only going to have a few points on the board. But after a surprising 3-and-out for the Dayton Triangles offense, this Pittsburgh team is right back out onto the field. 2nd and long, throwing over to the right-hand side, and it's going to be completed. It'll allow Will Firth to have over 100 yards passing, as they're going to try to move down the right-hand side, setting up the halfback screen. And while we had Daryl McLeod, who was all over it, At the same time, though, he just simply wasn't fast enough to catch the speedy running back out of the backfield. And now Pittsburgh is cooking something up pretty severely. Already in field goal range once again, but they're thinking about so much more. 3rd and 10 from the 29-yard line is Firth. Drops back, faces some pressure over the middle. It's caught, but they're not going to be provided with the first down. So interesting to see whether they go for the points or not, and they choose to. So that is going to wrap up your first half of action. It's been a slow cooking first half. Only going to be up 6-0. As we will go ahead and take a quick break to check out some of the other scores around the Premium Spring Football League that is known as the UFL. Let's go ahead and get things started here. First and foremost with the Arizona Hotshots traveling to take on the LA Wildcats, who are on track to have the worst record in the league. But a potential upset brewing, though, as the LA Wildcats are up at the half 10-7. Eugene, led by their custom quarterback Vin Doom, trying to make things interesting as well, as they are going to have an early lead against the Seattle Dragons. And then we have a tie ball game between the Orlando Guardians and the Salt Lake City Condors. So that is going to be your UFL halftime update, as we'll go ahead and jump right into the second half, where Grayson Heineck's going to get things started with a big play downfield. And it's a first down for your Dayton Triangles. And going to go with a little bit of this running game, trying to get it going here desperately. But it's been tough sledding for Jonathan McGriff. Only averaging 3.5 yards to carry thus far. Maybe we're going to have to mix it up a little bit with a sprinkle of play action. Deep ball over the middle, and it's caught by DeAndre Bazier. And now, for the first time today, the Dayton Triangles are going to be threatening. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line as McGriff is going to go ahead, get to the outside, and picks up the first down. And so for the very first time today, the Dayton Triangles are going to have a red zone opportunity, where a couple of plays later, we will have DeAndre Bazier in motion. Fire over the right-hand side. It's completed, but it's going to be hit right away after that. And so still need to pick up a few more yards to keep the drive alive. As Collar with a 3-wide set tight end to the right. Looking. Collar throws the right-hand side and dumps it off to Jonathan McGriff, but it's well short of the marker. A little bit of, just a little bit of panic in the pocket there that you rarely see from Andrew Collar. And so Dayton's going to have to settle for a field goal here, and we're still going to find ourselves down 6-3. But thank goodness for our defense, though, as our defense is certainly keeping us alive in this ball game. As we get to a critical junction here on 3rd and 6, looking over the middle of the field, and that was just a wide open spot in our zone coverage. That was certainly the soft spot, and Dixon found it with ease. Very next play, though, is Will Firth continues to build upon it as Firth drops back, looks to right inside. It's intercepted! Peter Townsend down the sideline, and it's turning into a foot race. And he is going to be gone like a girl in a country song. Touchdown, Triangles! Peter Townsend with a critical pick 6, baby. Let's go, man. And we are going to have a 10-6 lead here in New Welcome Stadium. As we approach the end of the 3rd quarter, we force Pittsburgh to go 3 and out after we got that pick 6. So the ball is in our hands, and Andrew Collar is going to take it into his own hands as well. As going to the end of the 3rd quarter, we get a good run there for Andrew Collar, because those screens were pretty well covered, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Those screens were incredibly well covered. And because they were, in fact, well covered, we still got the first down anyways. And that takes us into the 4th quarter here. A critical divisional battle that could certainly decide the fate of the AFC North. So, let's see if we can get ourselves one game closer. If we can find a way to hang on and win this one. But we got to get this offense going, and we simply haven't done so. Gonna have to punt the ball once again, and our defense must stand tall once more. So Will first going to get it started here with 9 minutes left in the ball game, as there's going to be a big completion over to the left-hand side. Eventually will be brought down by Jared Strong, but approaching midfield, this Pittsburgh team is on a drive. Verf dropping back, is going to look over to the right-hand side. He had Jeff Barkley on the outside. A rare drop for him. He's struggled in this outpouring of rain that we've had here, as he's now had 2 drops in the game. And that could be absolutely huge, instead of a surefire first down. They're now staring down 3rd and 10. As Verf's going to drop back. Got a clean pocket to work with. Finds Barkley, who makes the catch. It was brought down quickly by Denario Allen. And Pittsburgh actually decides to punt the football away. However, we do end up going 3 and out on our next drive, and to be honest, we don't do anything at all. So that's why Pittsburgh is starting across midfield, and it's going to be scored. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Eventually, the dam was going to break, and Tavon Dixon absolutely breaks it. And so now we really need this offense to step up. We can't mess around any longer. But can we turn on a notch? At least just a little bit. 2nd and 10 now coming up after the drop from DeAndre Bazier, as McGriff's going to get to the outside here. He's going to try to cut it inside with the juke move. He's able to pick up a couple of extra yards because of it. Is now 3rd and 1 coming up as Andrew Cower lines up in the shotgun formation, but staying with the ground game at least begrudgingly. And we were rewarded with a first down from Jonathan McGriff. Now, very next play, as we reach the 4-minute mark in this ball game, as Collar drops back, looks over the middle of the field, and finds Leon Thomas, who's been held in check for a lot of this ball game, but finally able to get Leon Thomas the ball. He's able to turn that into a first down, so you absolutely love to see it. And you absolutely love to see the deep ball, deep down the right-hand side. It's caught! Will Hunter finds the end zone. Touchdown, Dayton! And Will Hunter gives your Dayton Triangles the lead with 2:43 left in the game. And I just need my defense to have one more stop. Can we find one more stop in our defense? As this will likely be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Verf fires over the middle. It's caught. First down for Tavon Dixon. As that will indeed take us into the 2-minute warning, which is considered a free timeout. We'll see what the Maulers do coming out of the timeout, though. As Verf gets a clean pocket, throws over to the left-hand side. We have a broken tackle. We have a couple more before Denario Allen forces the receiver to go out of bounds eventually, but gets to the 39-yard line. And so the drive's looking good here in Dayton, as Jeff Barkley going to make yet another catch. He's been he's been provided a steady diet over the course of his ball game, whether it's against corners or whether it's against linebackers. He has been a matchup nightmare, but it could all be forgiven on this 3rd and short. Barkley gonna go out to the middle of the field. He's gonna go and be a distraction instead. And Tavon Dixon is gonna find the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. And the Maulers are gonna pull ahead with less than 2 minutes left in the ball game, bro. And after the extra point, they cannot lose off of a field goal anymore. However, they are still prone to losing by a touchdown if that's possible. So here we are, 1:33 left as we'll get things started here with a DeAndre Bazier completion. We'll get to the line quickly, call another play, looks to the right-hand side, and Grayson Hyde cannot bring it in. But the clock will stop, however, at 1:13. As Jonathan McGriff goes into motion for the next play on this 2nd and 10. Gower looks to the left-hand side. He's able to get it out to Grayson Hydick. Able to successfully get out of bounds as well. So it stops the clock at 1:07. And so we could take a little bit more time figuring out what we want to do next. Gower throws a run inside, and we won Will Hunter there, but he cannot haul it in though. And so that will result in an incompletion. As now, 2nd and 10. Gower looks over the middle. He's got a wide, butt naked open DeAndre Bazier. And now we have to take our first time out as Jonathan McGriff gets injured on the play. And who will end up taking his place is Joe Spears, who is more a better option, I should say, when it comes to these 2-minute drills. But he might not be needed much here as DeAndre Bazier nearly finds the end zone. We're just a couple of yards away, and so we have the option to run it, and we will. Joe Spears, his only carry of the football game, is going to find the end zone, and the Dayton Triangles are going to take the lead again. So that just means that we have 18 seconds left in the ball game, and all we got to do, keep them out of the end zone. Now, Pittsburgh does have 2 of its timeouts, and they did just use one of them right before our eyes. As now, 2nd and 5 coming up. Verf drops back. He wants to go deep downfield, but has to dump it off. While it is completed, we still have a lot of room here as we need a 58-yard touchdown to win it. Otherwise, this game is over, and he can't even get the pass off as Cameron Spencer, with the assistance of the custom linebacker, J.J. Spears, is going to find some things, make some things happen, and it's over. So boys, I'm going to keep it real with you. We did not show up to play until the second half. I mean, it was an ugly game. It looks prettier on the scoreboard. You know, it seems like it was like a regular scoring UFL game. Nothing happened till the 3rd quarter. And even then, like, the fireworks didn't even start till the 4th. So I'm happy that we found a way to win. But when we play against better teams in the UFL, this is not a championship level effort that we want to have if we want to win a championship in this league. Now, with that being said, what I will say is that we took care of the ball and we made plays that mattered the most. Andrew Collar was, turnover free in this one, but he wasn't very efficient. He was 55% of from the field in this one. He did have almost 250 yards and a touchdown that we thought was a game winner, but actually was not a game winner for us at all. On the ground, we actually struggled deeply to get any kind of rushing offense going today, as Jonathan McGriff was our leading rusher, but he only averaged 3 yards a carry. The only person that found the end zone on the ground, though, was Joe Spears, who has overtaken Heath Whitehead on the depth chart somehow, but Joe Spears got the opportunity and made the most of it, finding the end zone. For the receivers, I want to give a shout out to DeAndre Bazier, though, because DeAndre Bazier, he showed up to play today. Actually, 2 of our receivers definitely showed up. DeAndre Bazier, and then Grayson Heidick actually did have an extremely big day as well. Will Hunter only had 1 catch though, but he did make the most of that 1 catch, finding the end zone. And then Leon Thomas actually surprisingly had a pretty quiet day today. Now, defensively, what I will say is that I thought our defense played extremely well in this game. They did what they needed to do to make sure that we stayed in it. Paul Hitchens led the way in tackles, and then Peter Townsend was not too far behind. He had 8 tackles and, of course, an interception that was able to take it back to the crib, which is really cool to see. Biggest compliment that I will say, though, is that we got pressure on this quarterback, and we got it consistently. Actually, 2 of our custom guys did get sacks. JJ Peters had a full sack, and then Nas Evans was also able to get half a sack over the course of this ball game, which is really cool to see. Other guys getting sacked is Cameron Spencer, who had 1.5 sacks, including the game-winning sack to end the game. And then Greg Sharp and Ty Moody were successful in getting to the quarterback as well. So right after the game, we do get some welcome news that Cameron Spencer is going to get an upgrade as well. Now, Cameron Spencer, he is just an 86 overall, which kind of surprises me a little bit. But, I mean, he's playing a lot higher than that 86 overall. He has been ecstatic to work with, man. I just want to work on his run stopping just a little bit, make him a little bit more of a complete rusher, so to speak. And he doesn't get any overall upgrade with this particular like packaging, but he does get at least a plus free to tackling, which is going to be pretty nice for us to utilize. Now, this does come at a price, though, as John Johnson actually ends up tearing his labrum. We do have a solid backup in Johnny Heck, but losing him out for essentially the rest of the regular season is going to be a tough pill to swallow. He is one of our best offensive linemen that we have on the team. Now, with that being said, we actually do get honored with the Defensive Player of the Week within our UFL conference because Peter Townsend's pick 6, got the attention of the league office. So we did end up getting that Defensive Player of the Week, which we are extremely grateful for because his play really genuinely helped make the difference between us winning and losing. It was really important for us. Alright, so in preparation for the other game that we have in this episode, we actually do have a few players that are getting upgraded. Only one starter though, and that's Barry Alfman, who we did draft like a couple of years ago, and Barry Alfman's turning into a fine player in his third year in the league. He is coming out, and he has like an 82 overall already, just a very solid football player. We're gonna go ahead and give him pass protector in this instance, and it actually does get a natural overall boost, but his actual overall stays the same with that +2 to pass blocking power. Also getting an upgrade is Cameron Means, who is our backup linebacker and actually does participate on special teams and very occasionally gets a actual defensive snap every once in a blue moon. We'll give him a pass coverage upgrade, but he stays at a 72 overall for now. Does get a +4 to zone coverage, which could prove to be extremely helpful. And then the last player that's getting upgraded before we get into our matchup with Columbus is Michael Thomas. Now, Michael Thomas hasn't really been able to see the field the second year out of Lehigh. He's in a crowded depth chart right now, just trying to put in that work slowly but surely. We'll give him playmaker here, and he actually does improve one overall. He's now up to a 71, which will help when he gets a +2 to catch in traffic, plus a additional +3 points in the deep route, so that carries him up to a 71 overall. So he's a solid player. So let's go out and see if our boys can come out on top here in the second game of this episode, as we'll take on a team that does have a talented roster on paper. However, they have been disappointing this year, coming in at just 5-8. And we'll go ahead and jump in about midway through the first quarter, where we are tasked to really set a kind of tone setting like first quarter drive, right? So let's see if our boys can go ahead and pull it off, as we're going to go ahead and try to run a jet sweep here with Leon Thomas. And while he wasn't able to get to the outside, he was able to go ahead and do just enough for us in order to go ahead and pick up that first down. As now, 1st and 10 for the 19-yard line. We're able to get a little bit of breathing room, thankfully, as now Jonathan McGriff runs it inside and able to do some nice work there. Able to get to that second level, appreciating like Barry Alfman for doing that, our third-year right guard, helping create that bigger run. And it makes it much more manageable, 2nd and short, with Will Hunter able to go ahead and move upfield. And that's going to be another first down for the Dayton Triangles. So right now we're putting together a solid drive, not a liquid or a gas by any means, but still also haven't put together that explosive play yet. But I just have a sneaking suspicion that it is certainly coming, though. It's 1st and 10 for the 46-yard line. McGriff again is going to get the carry as he nearly breaks that one. Oh my goodness, I thought it was going to be a one-on-one matchup, but instead it's going to be 2nd and 3. But we will get the first down anyways with DeAndre Bazier. And we are flirting in a field goal range for Felipe Nicholas, as that run is going to carry us inside the 25-yard line We are now definitely in the field goal range of Felipe Nichols. As Cower's going to go ahead, looks over to the left-hand side, fires, caught! Touchdown, Dayton! And Grayson Heineck finds the end zone. Just a mismatch on the outside. A tight end against a DB. That size advantage is going to be there 10 times out of 10. And now we could really put the hurting on our in-state rivals in the Columbus Destroyers, and we can do it by putting more points up on the board. 3rd and 5 from the 36-yard line as Cower drops back, fires over the right-hand side, and it's going to be caught by Jonathan McGriff, who bounces off a wimpy tackler and is able to pick up a few yards after that, which ultimately ends up being the difference. So now we have ourselves another red zone opportunity. Last time we were down here, we were able to score. Let's see if we can do that here once again, as DeAndre Bazier is going to be able to make that catch for us and get to about the 16-yard line. So things are going pretty smoothly here thus far as Jonathan McGriff drives us into the goal line. As Jonathan McGriff has been having a massive day today. Already 100 yards rushing, and we're not even done with the first half of action here. So a chance to make it 14-0. As Cower is going to go ahead. He's going to take the snap, fires to the right-hand side, and Leon Thomas steps out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Just could not stop his momentum soon enough. And you already know what we're about to do. I want to go for it here on 4th and goal. From the 1-yard line, Jonathan McGriff, who's having a big day. Can we get him into the end zone for the first time today? And he does! Touchdown, Dayton! And the Triangles are going to make it a 14-0 lead. And your Dayton Triangles are dominating and coming with a chance to put even more points on the board, as I wanted to get it out to Grayson Heineck, who is literally right in front of us. But somehow it ends up being incomplete. I can't believe we found a way to not complete that pass. That's crazy to me. So we'll run it here on 4th and short, and we will pick up the first down, thankfully, to keep this drive going. But I want to see if we can make it 21-0 though. As Cower looks over the middle of the field, but does not get rid of it, and is going to have to ultimately eat the sack. We'll take our timeout, and it will make it a 17-0 affair. So let's go ahead and jump to the second half here. Listen, we played pretty well here in this first half overall, and I just want to see if we can do the same thing here in the second half. Put these guys away. You know, maybe mess around and get some of our like backups at key positions. Maybe get them some reps. As this particular catch by Leon Thomas is going to get us inside the 5-yard line. So definitely an opportunity for us to go ahead and pick up some more points here. As Collar's going to try to scramble on 2nd and goal, and we nearly put it on the ground. Isaiah Connor, one of our offensive linemen, happy to be there to at least avoid a complete disaster. But it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 11 as Collar throws the right-hand side, gets it out to Grayson Heineck. And Heineck is going to be short of the goal line. But it'll always help Andrew Collar get to 3,000 yards passing on the season, with a chance to go out and possibly make it in more of a free score game. But we go for it on 4th down, and it is not successful. So with that being said, kind of keeping our foot off the gas pedal a little bit. I'm disappointed by how we've been coming out. Still playing phenomenal defensively. I don't want to get it twisted by any means. We are playing some great football defensively. It's just that offensively, you know, just kind of getting our foot off the gas pedal a little bit. Not a fan of that whatsoever, but I'm a fan of that Jonathan McGriff run, who is able to dance a couple of people out of their shoes. We even have a defensive lineman for Columbus who ends up getting hurt on the play, so they're going to be thinned out on their defensive line. As now, 2nd and 9 coming up. Cowher looks to right hand side. He had the touchdown. He had the Andre Bazier, and yet he missed them. So now it's going to be 3rd and long from the 19-yard line. And we're going to run it here with Jonathan McGriff, who actually is very close to getting to that 1st down marker, although we are up by 20 at this point. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to take our points here. We're going to be up 23-0. And that means if Columbus wants to beat us, they're going to need free touchdowns. But they're also going to need free 4th down conversions. But if they're not even picking up 4th down spots in their own side of the field, that's going to be a monumental issue. And so here we are with a 3rd and 4 coming up. A chance, get some time off the clock. We'll throw to Grayson Heineck real quick. And Grayson Heineck will hang on and make the catch. And it will carry Andrew Cowher to over 200 yards on the day. Another solid performance for the 4th-year quarterback. As we now have 3rd and long. Cowher looks around, needs somebody to get open, but just doesn't like when he sees downfield. And, nothing wrong with just hanging on and eating the sack. When you have such a big lead, we'll take the points. And it leads to a overall impressive victory. We handle things against Columbus, winning 26-7. So that's 2 divisional wins in a row. Alright boys, so we got the win, and what the crazy part about this game is that this could have been even more of a blowout. I feel like there was a couple of times where, we faltered a little bit there in the red zone, had to settle for 3 separate red zone field goals. So the red zone efficiency was not great by any means, but I mean, we're still able to pull off an extremely nice victory. Glad that we're able to sleep our hated rivals to the east of us. Now, Andrew Cowher once again took really good care of my football. He ends up going 19 for 30, 200 yards and a touchdown. Nothing too crazy, but didn't do anything that would put us in a position to possibly lose the game. Running wise though, it was a Jonathan McGriff show, as Jonathan McGriff goes absolutely nuts. He runs for over 150 yards. He did that with 30 carries, but we're going to ignore that part. He also had a touchdown on the ground, which you absolutely love to see. Grayson Heineck had that big time catch in the red zone. He had 5 catches for 73 yards, so the tight end really making his presence felt in the ball game. Interesting enough, Jonathan McGriff also comes out and actually was involved in the passing game as well. He has season highs across the board with 5 catches and 61 yards. But again, it was the defense that stepped up and made some really big plays for us today, as both Matt Weaver and Jordan Baptiste led the team in tackles. Ty Moody was not too far behind. He had 4 such tackles himself. We also actually did not have the same pass rush as what we were normally accustomed to. Only had 1 sack today, and that was from Matt Weaver, the 5th-year player out of Louisville. However, Jared Strong, who has turned into a nice player for us, he has an interception today. And then Denario Allen, our safety out of the University of Iowa, he was also able to pick off a pass as well. So we were able to force multiple turnovers. We won the turnover battle. And with that being said, boys, looks like we're going 2-0 in this episode. Now, winning both of those games, and particularly winning that game against the Pittsburgh Maulers, was huge for us because we were able to go ahead and clinch our division. This is going to be our first divisional title in this series, so I'm so thankful that we were able to get that done. And with that being said, taking a look at how the rest of the league is shaping out going into the final stretch. Right now, we are chasing the San Antonio Brahmas. They do have a 2-game lead on us, but there's 3 games left to go. So for us to get the #1 seed, we need to win out, and San Antonio would need to lose their last 3 games of the season, because we did lose to San Antonio earlier this year. Certainly not impossible, but given they've won 13 of their first 14 games of the year, it's gonna be a little bit of a stretch for us that we're gonna have to try and navigate through. However, on the other hand, we could at least lock up the number 2 seed, because the next closest team to us right now is the Boston Mariners. They're 9-5, so they're 2 games back. So, one more win and, Boston drops another game, then we could be looking at locking up that number 2 seed, automatically. So that's what's going on, at least, in our conference. Let's go ahead and check out how things are shaking out over in the NFC. Alright, so here's how things are going in the NFC North. First and foremost, Louisville has clinched a playoff spot, and they will just need one more win to clinch their division, as they are both 3 games ahead of the Michigan Panthers and the Chicago Enforcers. In the South, everything is still up in the air as of right now, but it looks like Atlanta is in pretty firm control. Their next win will allow them to clinch the NFC South, because they're 3 games ahead of both the New Orleans Breakers and the Arlington Renegades as well. In the East, the Charlotte Knights have also already clinched a playoff appearance. Could be looking at a whole, definitely an outside shot of having the number 1 seed in the NFC, but they haven't completely clinched their division yet, because the Philadelphia Stars, they're trying to chase their tail, having a very good season, 9-5. They have the top wildcard spot over in the NFC. And then finally, in the NFC West, we saw Arizona have the best record in the league last year. And while they regressed a little bit, they're still having a good year, 9-5, and they are on the verge of clinching a playoff berth, virtue of winning the NFC West, because Eugene Chiefs are 3 games behind. With that being said, looks like the LA Wildcats do have the worst record in the league. They are just at 2-12 and could be picking in the top 5 once again. Alright boys, so I want to go ahead and give a little bit of a game plan in terms of how we want to handle these last few games of the season. So I definitely want to play the last few games of the next episode. In the next episode, I want to wrap things up, see if we can beat Evansville for the second time. We do have the huge win, 48-10, but this time we're going on the road. The Boston game could be really intriguing. We'll play the moments here, but this is certainly a game to watch, especially if we lose the Evansville game and Boston wins. That could be a matchup that ultimately decides who ends up with that number 2 seed. And with that being said, final game is a game that I want to get into fully, but depending on if we are already locked into the number 2 seed, or there's any chance of movement for us, whether it be moving up a seed line or down a seed line. If we're locked into a particular seed, then I think what I'll do for this final game is I'll use that as an opportunity to check out some of the young players that we have on this team. I want to rest the key starters, allow the younger guys and backups, or at least certain backups, to get more reps, but that's going to be kind of a touch and go. It really depends on how we play these last couple of games of the season, if we end up resting those key starters or not. So I'll leave that for the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this divisional doubleheader. I'm very happy that we were able to come out and we finished 2-0 in this episode, and I want to see if we can come out and go 3-0 in the next episode, regardless of who we bring out there onto the field. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic, signing off, but hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.